There's something strange happening right now. Millions of people are having their most honest conversations, not with their best friends, not with their partners, not with anyone who actually knows them, but with a chatbot. And the even stranger part, those conversations often feel more understood than anything they've had with a real person in years. That should make us stop and think, not about AI, but about what's been missing from our human relationships for a very long time. Let me paint a picture for you. You're having a hard day, not a catastrophic day, just one of those days where everything feels slightly heavier than it should. You open a chat window and start typing. You don't edit yourself, you don't think about how it sounds. You just say what's actually happening. And the response that comes back, it doesn't try to fix it. It doesn't immediately offer advice. It doesn't say, well, have you tried? Or at least it's not. Or I know someone who had it way worse. It just reflects back what you said. And somehow that feels like exactly what you needed. Now think about the last time you tried to do the same thing with a real person. Maybe you started to say something honest, and before you even finished the sentence, they were already solving it, or making it about a time they went through something similar, or getting uncomfortable in a way you could feel. That quiet shift in energy that tells you you've said too much, or the wrong thing, or something they don't know how to hold. So you pulled back. You said, "It's fine, never mind," and you carried it alone. This isn't a criticism of the people in your life. Most of them are doing their best, but there's something AI does almost accidentally that humans find genuinely difficult. And understanding what that is might be the most important thing you learn about your relationships today. AI listens without an agenda. When you tell a real person something vulnerable, they bring their entire history to that moment. Their own fears, their own wounds, their own opinions about how you should live your life. Even the most loving, well-intentioned people filter what you say through their own experience. They hear your story and think about how it relates to theirs. They want to help, but their version of help is shaped by everything they've been through, everything they believe, everything they need from you in return. AI has none of that. It meets you exactly where you are, with no history, no agenda, no emotional skin in the game. And for someone who has spent years feeling like a burden, like their feelings are always a little too much, always slightly inconvenient, that neutrality feels like oxygen. AI also doesn't need you to be okay. Think about how many of your relationships operate on an unspoken agreement. You don't fall apart too much and they don't have to deal with it. You stay manageable and they stay comfortable. It's not malicious, it's just human. People have their own lives, their own limits, their own capacity. And sometimes, often, your hard days land on days when they're already full. AI is never full. It doesn't have a bad day that makes it less present for you. It doesn't have its own grief sitting in the background while you're trying to talk about yours. It just shows up every single time, completely. And for a person who has learned to time their vulnerability carefully, to wait for the right moment, the right person, the right level of emptiness in someone else's emotional tank, that consistency is almost disorienting. And then there's this. AI reflects you back to yourself in a way most people never do. When you talk to AI about something you're struggling with, it often identifies patterns you hadn't named yet. It connects things you said earlier to things you're saying now. It asks questions that make you realize you haven't actually thought about it from that angle before. Not because it's smarter than the people in your life, but because it's paying a particular kind of attention, the kind that isn't distracted by its own reactions, the kind that doesn't already have an opinion about you, the kind that's looking at what you're saying without the filter of who it thinks you are. And here's what that reveals. The people in your life see you through a lens. They love you, but their love comes with a fixed image. They know the version of you that showed up 5 years ago, 10 years ago. They have expectations, even loving ones, about who you are and how you operate. And sometimes, without meaning to, those expectations become a kind of cage. You can't be uncertain around them because you're the confident one. You can't be struggling because you're the one who has it together. You can't change your mind because they remember who you used to be. AI has no memory of who you were. It only knows who you are right now in this conversation. And there is a particular freedom in that. But I want to be honest with you about something, because this is where it gets complicated. Everything I just described, the listening without agenda, the consistency, the reflection, all of it is real, and none of it is the same as being truly known. There's a difference between being understood in a moment and being known across time. AI can understand what you say right now, but it cannot know the way your voice changes when you're trying not to cry. It cannot know that the reason you're struggling with this particular thing goes back to something that happened when you were 9 years old. It cannot sit with you in silence and have that silence mean something. It cannot choose you again and again on the hard days in a way that tells you, I see all of this and I'm still here. That is what human connection does, and it's irreplaceable. So the question isn't whether AI understands you. It does in its way. The question is why the people in your life sometimes don't. Or more honestly, why you've stopped giving them the chance to try. Because here's what I think is really happening. You've been hurt enough times that you learn to pre-edit. To show people the version of you that's least likely to be mishandled. To be honest only in the spaces where honesty feels safe. And AI feels safe because it cannot actually hurt you. But that safety comes at a cost. The cost is depth. The cost is the kind of relationship where someone has seen you at your most unguarded and loved you anyway. The cost is being truly known. So yes, use AI if it helps you think. Use it to process, to articulate, to figure out what you actually feel before you bring it to someone real. That's a legitimate use of a tool, but don't let it become the destination. Don't let it become the place where your realest self lives while everyone around you gets the edited version. Because the edited version of you might be easier to love, but it will never feel like enough. Not for them, and not for you. The people who matter to you, they want to know you, not the version you've decided is safe to show, all of you. And the only way they get the chance is if you give it to them. What's one thing you've told AI lately that you haven't told anyone in your real life? You don't have to share it here, but I want you to sit with it. Because that thing, whatever it is exactly what someone who loves you deserves to hear. And next week, I want to talk about something connected to this. Why so many of us feel guilty just for having needs in the first place. Why we apologize for taking up space. Why we've convinced ourselves that needing things from people is somehow too much to ask. If that sounds familiar, stay close. That one's going to hit somewhere real.